We're in Jonah chapter 4. Jonah chapter 4 starts off with Jonah being angry for the way chapter 3 ended. So chapter 3 ends with God showing grace and mercy to Nineveh, and Jonah is livid. My man is angry over here because he does not want God to show them mercy. In chapter 1, when Jonah fled from his home country to Tarshish, he was fleeing because he knew that if he had to come to Nineveh and spread the word of God and they received it, he knows that God would show them mercy, which is what he does not believe that these people are deserving of receiving. But he did it eventually in chapter 3. And now he's angry. He's like, man, God really did it. And in verse 2, it says, so he prayed to the Lord and said, Lord, was not this what I said when I was still in my country? Therefore, I fled previously to Tarshish, for I know that you are a gracious and merciful God, slow to anger and abundant in loving kindness, one who relents from doing harm. So Jonah knows that the only reason he was running away was because he knows God's character. He knows that he serves a good and a gracious God who will show mercy. That is why he was running away. Not because he is afraid of these people, but he knows the character of his God. And his God's character is one that relents from doing harm. His God's character is one that shows loving kindness, that is merciful and gracious. The rest of the chapter is now a back and forth between Jonah and God, because God needs Jonah to learn a lesson. So Jonah's angry now, and he goes to the edge of the city, and he lays down in the sun, and God provides some shade for him. And Jonah gets exceedingly happy. And then God provides a worm that eats the shade. It eats that plant. And Jonah goes back to being angry. And God is like, hey man, is this plant making you angry? And Jonah's like, yeah, it's making me so angry. I wanna. And God is like, Jonah, you didn't labor over this plant. You didn't do anything to give you this shade, and now you're very angry about it being dead. Now, I think God is trying to put Jonah in his shoes, and he's saying to Jonah, I've labored over the people of Nineveh. I've taken care of these people, and yes, they turned to their evil ways, but now they have repented and come back to me. Is it not enough that God cares about them? Sometimes we get angry over God caring about the things we don't care about, not realizing that God had labored over that thing. Sometimes when you're operating in your purpose, remember that God had labored.